the Backpack Boys, here again this week, week of the 17th of May. Here again, the Backpack Boys. You got your boy Flubba from Wisconsin here. How y'all doing?
Yo,
What's up? What's up?
any relation to Flubber?
A close cousin.
Oh, that's cool. All right. USPS here, coming straight from California. The whole state, nowhere specific. The entire state is where I'm located.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
Damn. All right.
Taking care of you.
I'm coming from California too. It's your boy Chef Curry. About to give LeBron the smoke. You know, it is what it is. That's what I do.
Hope this ages well. For your sake. For your sake, I hope this ages well.
And finally, your boy Hasbro, and I'm coming from Maine, up north, as north as you can get. So, in Maine.
Hasbro, do you feel like you're in direct competition with Santa Claus, or?
No, not at all. Not at all.
All right, just asking.
I'm a independent contractor for him. So.
Mm.
Yeah.
Dang.
Private contractor. I like it. Y'all, how have we been doing? How are you guys doing emotionally today? Are we good? How was your week? How's it going? Amazing?
Pretty good. Pretty productive. Getting some good news. So yeah, pretty good.
Well, okay. Glad to hear it. Y'all, you know what happens here. This is where I cry. We all cry because we're so appreciative of all the fans. And
Well, almost all of us.
yeah, USPS isn't ever satisfied here, but I'm very appreciative of all your attention and your views and you liking and sharing this video, because I know you do that, and commenting too. Much appreciated. Y'all.
We want more. Give us more. More
If you
fans.
want
More
if you want to
friends.
share it on your social media, share away. Share away. The topics for this week, y'all. Some deep, heated topics. You got divorce from Antoine in Italy. Rome, Italy is in Italy. Thank you, Antoine.
Shout out to Antoine in Italy. Second conversation point comes from Boy Scouts of America, and that is from Jeffrey. Jeffrey. What does it say? Jeffrey Edwards. Jeffrey Edwards. And he's coming from Florida. So shout out to him.
Thought you were gonna say somebody else there for a second.
No. I read it wrong. I'm sorry, guys.
Finally, we have jellyfish from Philip.
That's actually from Sean. I won't be honest. Shout out to Sean.
Oh,
he's cool.
Sean. Okay, never mind. Philip.
Yeah, gotta give credit where credit's due.
We'll get you next week, Philip.
Yeah, fuck you, Philip.
All the Phillips. Thank you guys again. Divorce. Have you experienced it? Are you personally divorced? Do you have a story of something or someone being divorced? Do we think divorce is, why are the rates so high? Why do so many parents and people get divorced? Let me know your thoughts.
Oh, no one wants to start this.
Feel free.
I could change the question a little bit.
Okay,
I could rephrase the
it's
question.
fine. It's just the awkward silence was a little Well, I don't know. I've never been divorced.
Do you think you
mostly
will be
because
divorced?
I've never been. I hope not. I really hope not. I hope that if I do end up getting married, whoever I marry that's like a lifelong, partnership, and that there's no breakage in that partnership.
That's such a hard thing to predict. Like,
No,
I think like 20
don't
years
know.
from now, I'm probably gonna get a divorce.
Like,
I'm
but,
feeling like a 15-year
Yeah,
mark. I'm
it's in my 20-year
I'm out.
plan. 2 divorces. 100%.
Actually,
But I
shooting
mean,
for it,
like-
yeah.
Statistically, probably, right? Like, I mean, it's what, 50%, right? 50% of all marriages end in divorce. So, it's a flip of a coin whether you'll get divorced in the future or not. So
How many of us are products of like divorce or separated parents? That's one.
That's
two.
Hasbro,
That's three. All right,
Steph
my
Curry,
question.
USPS, and I, the only one with.
So
love
I
and
guess
care.
yeah, my question is like, do you guys think it's changed? A, has it impacted the relationship that you have with your parents? And B, like, have you feel like divorce like changed the way that you grew up? Like, did it adversely or whatever anyway impact you growing up as a kid?
Well, speaking from my perspective, absolutely. It definitely shook me a little bit because when my parents got divorced, I was like 13 years old. They had just had my sister, and my brother was like 6 or 7. And I don't know, it was super emotional for me. I don't know. I went through a lot. And because I was the oldest, both my parents kind of used me as like someone to confide in. So I was kind of like absorbing a lot of information about my parents, like before I was ready to understand them as adults, I guess. So like I would learn things about my dad or my mom that I probably would have never heard about until I was older, when I was younger, and then I had to process all that and then also go through all the emotional you know, all the emotional things that come with, watching your parents separate. But yeah, it definitely changed for me a lot, for sure.
Hasbro, I know you also have siblings. Are your siblings also relying on you during that time period as well? Like to kind of like explain what's happening, or at least are your parents at least doing a good job of trying to like make sure everyone understands what's going on?
So I think in the beginning it was kind of chaotic. I don't think there was really, I mean, they told us together, but like the whole aftermath, like for the first couple years, was kind of just everywhere chaotic. Like nobody really knew how to act. Like adjusting to that life was super difficult for everybody, like my parents and my siblings. But as time has gone on, they've gotten better as like to explain like the reasoning behind whatever, and like trying to help us deal with it and cope with it. And with my sister being so young, she really didn't know much of them being together, so now it's more of like a hindsight of like, oh well, what would it be like if you guys were together, because I love you both, and like I wish I could have seen that. And like that's more of the struggle with her. But for me and my brother, it was just kind of just kind of came and kind of just, it was like a wrecking ball in our lives. But I think if I look at it now from like being older and seeing it from my perspective now, I would probably say that at the time it was probably the best decision for them.
That was my question. Yeah.
Even though I don't like when it was going on, I didn't believe that, and I didn't think it was necessary, and I thought they could have fought for their marriage or whatever. But I think now, looking back, their lives went in a better direction because of it, and they might be happier now than they would have been if they've stayed together. So,
was there ever did you ever feel guilty for not? Well, I know there's legally, I think, right, you have to spend a certain amount or an equal amount of time with both parents, or was there like, did you ever feel obligated to spend the exact amount of time with each parent?
I didn't feel obligated, but I mean, both my parents were very like wanting to be a part of our lives, so it wasn't like one was fighting to like spend less time. They both were like adamant about spending like like the same amount of time every other weekend type thing with us. So like, my dad ended up moving like a block down where my mom lived, so it's like we could easily like go, and they were very cool about that, like us going in between the houses and just like seeing if we wanted to spend an extra night at my dad's or an extra night at my mom's. It wasn't too much of a big deal. But I don't know, it just made me grow up a lot quicker and like view my parents, and I feel like view my parents as more of like humans earlier than I probably would have.
Yeah, the superhero phase wasn't as long for you.
Yeah, and I learned more about them as people, and then kind of just made me grow up a little bit quicker.
Does that influence, I guess, the separation of your parents? Does that kind of influence like your self-esteem in some way? Like, did anything manifest in that arena for like your self-identity, or was it more you're sad your parents aren't together, or like I know you dealt, but like what did that mean for you and how you saw
I
yourself?
think to be honest, I don't think I really understood how it affected me until later in life. I feel like I held a lot of like the resentment and stuff like and kind of like blocked it out of my head and like never really dealt with it when it was like happening, and it like manifested itself in different ways where like I ended up being super unhappy at points in my life, and I think that like is because I had all these like underlying emotions that I never dealt with because of like that experience. Because if I look back on it, it was super traumatic for me. But at the same time, if it had not happened, I probably wouldn't like have been able to grow the way I have. So I don't know. There's like a good and a bad to everything.
Yep. How about you guys? Do you have a similar situation, or where kind of both parents are present, or like what are your situations, Curry or USPS?
So for me, my parents were separated for as long as I can remember. So it's always been relatively normal for me. And when my parents separated in New York, similar to Hasbro, my dad was across the street. And so I'd spend weekends with my dad, and then I'd spend like Monday through Friday with my mom. So that's always just kind of been how like life has been for me. So it's never been a moment of like, I wish this was like you guys together and stuff like I'd never had memories of that, so I never really had to worry about anything like that. That was just life for me.
Interesting.
For me, so I'm trying to think. So my parents got divorced when I was like 1, so like it didn't really affect like my reality, in terms of like, oh, like having a mother and a father, and but unlike unlike Hasbro and USPS, my mom was a single mom, so it was literally like she's like the only parent I've ever known. I've never met my dad, never knew anything about him. Like I know his name and stuff like that, but like I have no contact with him. Um, and when I was with my mom and my mom got separated from my dad, I actually got like she couldn't take care of me on her own because she was going through the whole divorce and everything like that. So I ended up living with my grandparents for a couple of years. So it's almost like they were my parents for like the beginning of my life.
Where? That's an important part.
I mean, I'm not trying to give too much information out here, or does it not matter?
You don't have to specify. You can say you can say a continent, or you can just say a different country.
In a nation in West Africa. Well, I'll say that. I lived with my grandparents there for a couple of years, and then I moved back to California here to live with my mom. And yeah, so basically, it's almost like I have like in my mind, just based on like my history, it's almost like I had 3 parents. I had my grandparents, who to them I viewed as like like my mom and dad. I was still like talk to my mom and stuff like that, but it was more like a long distance relationship, and she'd come visit me like every summer. And then when I came to live with her, she kind of like became like the sole parenting figure in my life.
I have a question for you. I think it's interesting, right? You talk about how I'm assuming that with each person that you've lived with, there's a different nature to your relationship with those said people. Do you think there are things that you've picked up from each of those people, whether good or bad, just as you've grown up? For example, spending time with your grandparents, are there traits that you picked up from them, spending time with them? And things that you might still have to, like traits that you still might utilize to this day?
Well, see, so here's the thing too. When I was living with my grandparents, I don't know why, but I don't remember the reason why. I don't know the reason why, but there'd be random moments where I wasn't living with them. I would be living with like other family members. Like I remember like for a while I was living with my aunt and my cousin. Um, but like I don't know why, or like what prompted that decision, like whether it was like my mom wanted me to live with them for a little bit or whatever it was. But I don't know, it's almost like I just like moved around in my family between like like my aunt and my cousin and my grandparents. But in terms of what I picked up from them, I don't really know. Like I don't think I really thought about it like in depth enough to really like see like what traits I picked up from who. Because as of where I am right now, I feel very much like my mother's son. Like I feel like I'm very, very similar to her. I picked up a lot of stuff from her, but also like I'm sure like I picked up stuff, from like my grandparents or from my aunt and from my cousin and stuff like that. But I couldn't really like as of right now I can't really like give you any specifics. I feel like I like if someone asked me like, oh, who am I most like out of like all the people who've I guess parented me, I would definitely say my mother. But I mean that makes sense considering I spent most of my like my childhood with her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that would make sense. But I mean I don't know. Like I'm sure I've had like different traits I picked up from like my grandparents and stuff like that.
Flubba, so you're the only person whose parents or aren't separated or divorced in some manner. Do you think that came with like any form of like added benefits? Like, do you think there's something valuable in parents staying together for you at least?
It's actually interesting. I kind of, in some ways, I think it's allowed you guys to mature in the ways I really respect you guys. Like, I kind of think I deal with a sense of like being overloved or too protective of parents in some sense, but I guess that's not like, I don't know. I don't know if it's divorce that's a bad thing or rather like not having loving parents. Maybe that's it. Like you guys all had parents that loved you, but like I don't know. I see like great qualities in all of you guys, and I see me lacking in some sense like that. But I couldn't tell you. Like I don't see a difference. I don't. I can't tell you otherwise because I haven't experienced the other side. But
What is it do you think that we have from being coming from like a divorced environment that you think you're lacking?
a sense of independence. I think just like taking on responsibility and not getting overwhelmed when that happens. At least I could speak from Hasbro and USPS. Like I've seen them on the day to day, kind of how they deal with that, and I think they do have that. Yeah, that sense of independence that I kind of struggle with, and I kind of get overwhelmed pretty easily. But again, I don't think that's a. I think that's just how I was raised, not necessarily having
Right.
two parents, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I couldn't. It's hard to say. I haven't experienced both sides. I couldn't tell you
Yeah.
what my benefits are over yours, but
Right.
I don't know.
Has
That's
divorce
interesting.
affect you in any way? Like, do you know anyone that's like super close to you, or like family members that like maybe like uncles and aunts that like split that are like you were close to that they no longer part of the family?
No, no. But I do think my parents should get divorced. I think that actually divorce in some contexts is a good thing. I think when something doesn't work, it doesn't work. Clearly, while it affected some, I think like you know, it's breeded a very toxic environment in my household. Let me not say very. It's not that bad, yo. But it's I feel overwhelmed when I go home. It's not like necessarily a joyous, chillax feeling. And not to say you guys don't deal with that, but
Do you think it's because of your parents' relationship with each other?
absolutely. I think, yeah, I think
It's because like the environment's toxic because of their relationship, or is it toxic because your relationship with your parents?
fair. I think it's a little bit of everything. I don't think they're happy. Obviously, I think we're all dealing with our own forms of unhappiness, right? And we don't know how to all kind of, well, yeah, we kind of just don't attack those separate things on our own, and kind of we take it out on each other in some way, those frustrations. So it becomes super unhealthy. In a stressful environment, I could assure you, every time I'm around my parents, my throat tightens up for no reason. Like automatically, I just feel like a restriction in my throat, and I feel like I have to almost just like defend myself, and I'm lagging. But uh, yeah, it's very weird actually. I get very stressed around my parents, Yeah, but have I dealt with
Yeah.
divorce in some format? No. But a question for y'all. Looking at it now and kind of understanding, now that we're adults, understanding your parents' personalities, does it kind of click a little more? I don't know, if you've been able to see both sides, but like, does it click a little more why things didn't work out? And do you
Yes.
kind of agree with why?
Yeah. Like it makes full sense why like my parents are no longer together. Uh, I think the sad part of it is that although my parents are no longer together and it's obvious they both hold traits of why they wouldn't be together, instead of like learning from them, they continue to make those same mistakes just in future relationships, which is hard to watch. Um, but it's also a lot easier said than done. So like behavior has to change, and changing behavior is one of the most difficult things to do. So for me, yes, I'm happy that my parents aren't together because I've seen it where just even like talking to one another is a difficult thing for them at one point. Obviously, like they have a better relationship now, but at one point they were like very combative, just dropping me off and picking me up when it was time to switch houses. So, um, yeah, but like it's telling that those same traits continue to show up in their future relationships.
Could you identify any kind of one side that might be more problematic than the other, or kind of are they both?
Yeah, I mean, like they both have positive and negatives, but I would say, like for example, my mother is almost too independent to the point where she'll like make her significant other feel not non-existent, but like irrelevant. She's not good at relinquishing control. And on the other side, my dad is an individual who does not express emotions well and harbors feelings until they like boil over. And not to say then he reacts in like this like super aggressive manner, but like he's just not a person who knows how to express himself with his own words, and that stems from his own traumatic experiences from childhood.
For me, my mother, she from my perspective now, as I've learned more about her past, I think that my mother, when she and my father got divorced, I think it was heavily driven by my mother, her whole life feeling uh like she didn't have control of her life, that she was being she was very submissive and was taken advantage of, and was kind of like that person that kind of just was there and would just be kind of like a punching bag for people, not like a physical punching bag where like she would actually get hit, but like emotionally. And she was the kind of person to kind of just take it and just love unconditionally. And then I think the thing that changed is that she finally had enough of that. And I think the casualty was that she had felt that my father was treating her how she was treated when she was younger, in a different kind of way. But ultimately she was like, you know what, I'm sick of doing and feeling like I'm someone's punching bag. So I'm gonna finally stand up for myself, and I'm gonna do what I think is best for me, regardless of how it affects other people. Because in the past she would not, do something as drastic as leaving a relationship or something, because she'd be afraid of how it would affect the other person rather than how it affected her own life. So I think kind of took control, and that's the way that she kind of like built up the courage to do something like that. And like I've seen through after the divorce that she has constantly been like, her relationships with other people in her family that she had problems with, that she never would address, she now is not afraid to speak her mind and tell them how she feels, tell people, the damage or the hurt that they put on her. And instead of, hiding it all inside, and then, just dealing with the emotional trauma that comes with it, because you don't want to affect other people around you, she's not afraid to put people up and call them out to their face and tell them like, hey, you did this to me, you made me feel this way. And I think that's what really motivated my mom to take to get to want to get the divorce. And then for my dad, My dad had always had a slight temper issue. Again, I don't think he was really good at expressing his emotions. But my dad also had like a super difficult childhood
Right.
where like he kind of had to harbor a bunch of emotions that he didn't really know how to deal with, and because like my dad was like his mother left and his father passed away when he was like 15 years old, so he was like living on his own, like got a job, had to drop out of high school, so like all that trauma like with his own parents, like losing his father who was like his best friend, and then his mother not being there, and him like catching his mother cheating on his father, like, and then she just left for a new family. He like never got to deal with any of those like traumatic experiences and like talk to anybody about it. It just kind of just sat with him because he had to immediately go and like get a job, get an apartment. That he met my mom when they were really young, then they had me when they were like 20, and like, I mean, he had no time to like deal with that. So he was just always kind of carrying that emotion with him, and then being that he was doing that for so long, and then also that he's not super expressive about how he feels or how that stuff was traumatizing towards him. It just kind of would build up under, and it would come out in different ways, like in his relationships.
I think that speaks to something. Do you think that both of your parents struggle with a level of emotional intelligence? Like, where would you put both of your parents at in terms of levels of emotional intelligence?
I don't know. I don't know. I think my mom is more in touch with her emotions, but expressing herself has always been super difficult. And my dad gets emotional, and he's sensitive, but he doesn't like to it's difficult for him, at least it was in the past, for him to be vulnerable, take accountability and blame. Both my parents were it was difficult for them to be told that they had hurt someone, or they had the way they behaved was wrong and they needed to change. Changing was the thing that neither of them ever wanted to do.
I think it's really interesting. So, do you think, in your own opinion, do you think both of your parents have changed in that manner after being divorced, separated from one another?
I think they've changed, but I also think that you can. It's like they have acknowledged their wrongdoings, but I don't think the behavior's fully corrected. Where it's like they won't make that same mistake again. I think that both of them could and have made the same mistakes and haven't like changed that behavior like to be a 180 and completely act different. I just think that they're more knowledgeable that it exists, and that they do hold themselves accountable for the things that they did wrong in their relationship and their life. But I don't think that I think that they still would make the same mistake in future relationships.
How about you, USPS?
Um, it took my mom like really going through something serious before there was a change in her emotional intelligence, and I think that speaks just once again to her upbringing and how difficult it was for her. But there was definitely a lack of emotional intelligence before my mom got sick, and then after my mom got sick, my mom was a completely different person, and her level of emotional intelligence like increased, and it also changed the relationship that I had with my mother, which allowed it to be more open, it allowed it to be more honest, and it came more from a loving place than a fearful place.
So, what do you guys think is the fine line of like when should people get divorced, or when should people kind of tough it out and figure things out? At what point does that line get crossed from
I
being
think
divorced?
it's
Or
I think it's super important to like really acknowledge how difficult separating is for people, especially with kids. Like, that's not an easy decision to do because of like how people view you. It's viewed as like you're giving up, it's viewed as like you're like throwing in the towel, when
Yeah,
in reality it could really be like the best decision for everyone within the
yeah,
group.
even the
So
kids.
yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's I would just like I want to take a moment to be like, yo, making the decision of divorce is not an easy one, especially because of like outside influence, not even accounting for the internal influence. That's
Yeah.
probably the hardest. Like, you're going to impact your kids no matter what if you do make that decision, but like you have to make that decision in order to be happy. That's not an easy thing to do. Or
Yeah, do you choose your own happiness or your the kids'
yeah,
happiness? And then potentially, if you stick it out, you end up being so unhappy. Your kids are then
right.
living in an unhappy environment. It's like, but like you said, I think that's a good point of the outside perspective of things, because my mother was crucified because of like religious reasons of like, you never divorce, and like very old fashioned, like you stand by your man regardless of whatever they do. That's a very old way of thinking, but that pressure was on her and was applied to her after she made the decision. Even if she was doing much better for herself, they didn't care about that fact. They was like, you made this decision, you disgraced, yourself, the family, all that, which is like what I never thought was fair. I don't think that makes any sense.
So is high divorce rates a bad thing, or is it people recognizing that they're in toxic relationships between themselves and the person that they're with and making the right decision to separate from one another? Or is it the latter, where people are just giving up more easily and are not forced to stick through things with one another? Like,
Well, I think we brought this up before. Is like, I think Flubba has made the point of like, you can kind of fall in love with anybody, but the thing of like this idea that love is like timeless and love is like forever, I feel is constantly being challenged, because there are those relationships where you do see love that runs throughout, but like the outs the outside influences in the world, the temptations, it seems like being in a relationship that lasts forever, like the length of your lifetime, is probably one of the most difficult things to do, because there's so many options or ways to feel differently about a relationship than you did when you first fell in love, or when you first decided to get married. That holding that feeling for a lifetime just seems like a super unrealistic thing. And then like, I feel like marriage is like more of like a commitment of like, even if we're not in love, we're like gonna try to be in love. And like, when it gets to that point, it's like, if we're not even really in love anymore and we're just hurting each other, is it even healthy? And then there's the whole idea of having kids and all this stuff, and it gets really fucking scary really quickly.
Something that scares me, it's a reason why I've struggled to kind of get into a relationship, is like, like when I am friends or in any form of relationship, I kind of feel obligated in some way. Terrible kind of perspective, but this is kind of me at the moment. I feel kind of obligated to kind of be that person around those people. So like, if a girl falls in love with me for the person I present, I get afraid that I won't be able to change, or like when I change or become a truer me, whatever. And that's why I kind of avoid, because I never feel like I'm like ready for
Because you don't feel like you're in your final form.
right, which could be terrible, because like I'm sure I could find many people and learn from a lot of relationships.
Or you
And
might never reach that final form that you have, like that expectation.
this
you have in
idea,
your
yeah,
head.
no, 100%. But yeah, that terrifies me. This idea that like you're with this person and it's just harder to change. It's harder to try new things or try to be a person because they're used to it, and then that's just like an outside force that's, I don't know, with expectations and then your own expectations. It's like
I
something
actually
I do
think
with it.
I think that's the root of why so many relationships don't work, is that you people put themselves in relationships and they fall in love with a version of a person without recognizing that,
Yeah.
like, the real definition of love is like growth, right? And it's like growing together. Like, if you guys are the same person that you were in 2008 and together and again, or throughout 2021, and you're the same person, like, that's, for me personally, I feel like that's just like stagnant, and you guys are just pretending to be doing something. You guys should be like continuing to grow together, not necessarily just like in your personal life or like in your careers, but like as people. Like, you should feel as though you're not the same person. And if you allow space within your relationships for growth, then I think you are more likely to have success within your relationships. Because
Yeah.
if we're talking about it, the most successful relationships are arranged marriages. And like, I think that's because it gives you time in the relationship to learn about someone. It gives you time to learn about what you do like and you don't like. And it also gives you time to like grow and watch another person grow, because it's someone you don't know. You can say, oh wow, like, didn't know you did that. Like, it just allows for more space. Whereas I think sometimes in relationships we fall in love with a version of someone, and don't want that person to change, because I'm scared of, I like this version of you and I don't want another version of you. So I make it always a pertinent goal to kind of like check in and talk with my significant other to make sure that like, and allow space for us to like try new things and things like that in all walks of our relationship. It's been valuable to me, and I think that's the root of a lot of divorce, truthfully.
Hmm. And then that idea of growth, I think, like also, I think could bring a lot of insecurities in your partner. Your partner might not want you to change because then they may not feel they're worthy of you or whatever. They might be afraid that other people might interest and they won't be good enough. So like, it could be super complex. But do you think just kind of following this story of you go to school, you go to college, you get a job, and then this kind of timeline we have as a society plays into a lot of the unsuccessful relationships? Just people feel obligated to marry
Oh
someone.
yeah, 100%. I mean, like, I know someone who has been in a relationship and like their friends are getting married, and it's like now they feel pressure to get married as well because all their friends are doing it. So like, I mean, it definitely plays a role. I mean, even for us, like we have friends that we went to high school with who get married, and we see, and it's like, oh damn, that's crazy. Like, me personally, I don't feel like the pressure, but I'm sure there are people who know them who, you know, like, oh, that should be me, or I should be doing that. But I mean, I just think that's like in every walk of life, like, or not even every walk, like in every situation. Like, for example, someone could be buying a house, so you could be like, oh damn, like that could be me, or I should be doing that. I should, you know, like I should have that as well. Like, what's the difference between me and them? At that point, you start kind of comparing your life to them and trying to, I guess, maybe not feel as badly about where you are compared to where that person is, and you're not even really taking into account, like, you don't know that person's situation, so it's not fair for people to beat themselves up and use other people's situations to force themselves into things that they're not necessarily ready for. Because I think that happens all the time. Also, too, I think, especially when it comes to women, it's like they have a timetable, right? Like, especially this whole idea of like having kids and having a family. I feel like there's more pressure.
They
Like,
also have a
again,
biological time.
yeah, exactly.
And that's
there's
like,
more pressure
that's
on
a
them.
valuable part to incorporate in
Exactly.
their
Yeah.
timelines. But like, I think society definitely plays up on that. But like, yeah, that is also a valuable point, that like they don't have as much time
Exactly.
if they want kids, at least.
That's scary.
Yeah, like they don't get to just like live their lives, like
Figure it out.
Well, no, not even. I mean, like, there are newer technologies, like you could freeze your eggs, but like
Yeah, but that's just expensive though.
It's extremely expensive. It's not
Yep.
guaranteed. So yeah, like if they want certain things, you kind of have to be on this a little bit more of a plan.
It's true.
And that's the thing too. I feel like a lot of people, like, there are people who have plans, like, you know, who have like a set plan for their life, and also people who don't. Like, there's just people who go with the flow, or they just live life and they let stuff like they let life happen to them. Like it's not like they're really in control. So depending on the type of person you are, you may find yourself in a situation that you aren't ready for, or that you didn't plan for. But you may even or if you are someone who plans for stuff, you may find yourself in a situation that you did plan for, but like you still weren't ready, right? Like you can plan to be in a situation, but still not be emotionally prepared because it wasn't what you thought it was.
That's fucking insane, is what that is.
Do you guys ever, when people get divorced, do you say I'm sorry or do you say congratulations?
Depends.
Congratulations.
I don't know. I guess it depends on how they tell me they got divorced. Like, oh my
Yeah.
God, I'm fucking finally out of this relationship. That guy was beating the shit out of me. Oh my God, congratulations. You're not in that environment. Or like, oh, yeah, she left me, dude. I'm fucking, yeah, I can't believe she left me, dude, for another guy. Oh, I'm sorry. You're getting divorced. That's rough.
Or is that still congratulations?
I mean,
that's still my.
I feel like the tone.
that's
I feel like
still-
the tone of the announcement is where I'll go with it. If he's down about it, I'll put my arm around him and be like, "Don't worry, I'm sorry about it, but don't worry, you'll feel better about it one time, later in life." But
I feel like this. Maybe I saw it in a movie or something, or a stand up, but or even just I had a personal conversation with someone, but I made a concerted effort that anytime anyone's mentioned to me that they're divorced, I say congratulations. And every single time I've said it, everyone's been like, holy shit, that's actually yeah. I've never thought about it like that, but yeah, I'm like,
one thing I don't like about divorce is that it's so fucking expensive, dude. Why
Oh
the
my
fuck?
God.
Why do people make it so dude? If I was getting a divorce, I'd be like, bro, I don't want to spend any more money on this. Take whatever, I don't just make it fucking semi-fair. I don't want to pay lawyers, all this bullshit. Everyone goes into debt to get divorced. It's
All right.
why is the government
Cut it.
involved in our relationships, bro?
Oh yeah, let's go into that rabbit
I
hole.
got two questions. One,
the
is
vaccine.
there a place with the least amount of divorce, and what are they kind of culturally maybe doing differently in comparison to what we do here?
So I think this is actually interesting because from different cultures that I've been around, I've seen a lot of people that don't get divorced, but aren't necessarily happy in their relationships. But similar to how my mom would, it's like people settle, and because they have to be no, I have to stand by this person regardless of how I feel, how I'll put my relationship, my kids, that person over how I feel about it. I feel like there's some cultural pressures outside of the US where people will stay married even if they're unhappy, and that is really not a concern in other cultures. I feel that way.
Back in the days of Assassin's Creed, I'm not sure how long ago that, but the BCs, wasn't it the man just went to war?
My nigga, you referenced a game that's in different time periods.
Yeah, I was like,
I said the BCs, the first one. The first
BCs
one.
before Christ.
They're all BCs, I'm pretty sure. But
No, they're not. They're not all BCs.
All right,
But still,
the JAC, just after Christ. Didn't they just fucking go to war for months on end, leave their gal at home, and come back and be happily? Maybe we're doing relationships wrong. We're all close knitted and stuff like that. Maybe we need a good 6 months break and then one month.
Nowadays you can have any type of relationship you want. You could have an open relationship. You can have 6 wives. You can have 100 wives. You could be you could identify as whatever you want to be. There's a lot of fluidity now. I mean, back then, I don't think there was really loyalty to a family. I feel like there was kind of guys just doing whatever they wanted with anyone.
well, I mean, I just think it depends on which culture you're referencing. If you're referencing the Roman Empire,
First Assassin's
well,
Creed.
that doesn't mean anything to me. I don't know what that means. If you're referencing the Roman Empire, yeah, they had families, but these people also had orgies as a social event. So so it just was what it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. It just really depends on the culture that you're talking about.
I think it's important to point out though, just most cultures have some form of a patriarchy where the man makes all decisions, and it was less likely that women were allowed to speak up and or say anything in any cultures.
Fair. They seem
And-
happy though.
Did they though? I mean, you don't know that.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm not. No, they did seem happy. It's funny. The more decisions we've allowed women to make, the less happy they become.
Oh boy, Todd, do it. Todd, do it.
This actually really
No.
makes me think about. I would like to reference
Wait.
Kevin Samuels here.
Hey, baby. Yes. Yeah. Dude. he's so entertaining. But my next question is prenup. Y'all getting it? Do you believe in it?
I don't have enough assets or
Yeah, well,
value
hey,
in my
yeah.
life
Okay,
to get a
so-
prenup.
I don't know.
When would you
I-
consider getting one?
I mean, the idea
If
of a
you-
prenup to me is funny because it's like,
Preparing for the end.
yeah, you know what I mean. It's like like I mean, because like, that's the thing. Like when you ask, like I mean, at least like in the movies and stuff, like when someone asks for a prenup, like the other partner, normally it's the guy asking for one, and like the woman gets mad because she's always like, "What? You don't think our marriage is gonna last?" But like it just makes sense to do it because
Why is
we see
insurance
all-
allowed in every other form of our lives, but it's not in marriage?
right. I mean,
I'm allowed
no,
to get
it's
house
it's
insurance. I'm allowed to
but
get
but I
car
mean,
insurance. I'm allowed
Why-
to get
okay,
fucking
but-
phone insurance.
But
I can't
also
get
I think
insurance on my marriage.
I think it's important to point out how in most states in the United States of America, if you get a divorce and you're a guy, you're getting literally fucked. Like everything is in the favor of the woman.
Exactly.
Why is
getting a
that?
prenup?
Because mommies.
I disagree with that actually because, well, no, I'm not that I disagree with that, but that's what I used to think. But I don't think it's that simple, because that's I know someone who she asked. It's basically whoever asked to get divorced is like the one who almost end up getting screwed over, because I think this woman, she ended up asking for a divorce from her husband. It took her 10 years to get divorced, and it cost like $150K because he didn't want to get divorced. So he dragged it out for 10 years. She got into like $150K worth of debt. And during that whole entire process, she also had to pay, she was taking care of the kids, and she also had to pay him alimony, even though he wasn't taking care of the kids. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah,
'cause
there's
it doesn't
more
make
to
any
that.
sense
There's
to
more
me
to
at
that.
all.
There's so much
'cause
more to that.
She's in charge. You know, she's
Yeah, that
she's
doesn't
basically
seem
taking
that
over the-
doesn't seem like the standard
It's not the
fucking
norm.
thing.
But I mean,
like
but
I've
that's
heard
what
of
I'm saying,
people
though. Like,
getting
I
it
don't
dragged
know if
out,
it's
but
that
like
simple to just say, oh, like whoever gets like the guy always gets fucked. Like, I mean, we're assuming that, and probably rightly so, because normally it's the woman who ends up taking care of the kids. That's what I thought it was. Like, okay, like the wife or the mother is the one who
but not
generally
even
ends up taking care
not
of the
even
kids.
it's
So
not even in the sense of like who, like even if the split is 50-50, I think it may be, and this may go back to the reason it's the way it is back in time, women didn't have as much high paying jobs, and the men were normally the people making most of the money. But there's people who, like, do you think that the Jeff Bezos wife, when she gets divorced, deserves to get, he built that company, how do you think she deserves 50% of all his money? Like what did
Absolutely not.
Yes, she should get it.
okay, should
Why?
she or should she not get it is two different things. But do you think she deserves it? Was she there building the company for him?
but you don't. But like she, but
Legacy?
like she
Why
could have
does it
given
have
him
to be
like emotional
50?
support. Like you don't know. Like we don't know the nature of the relationship.
But okay. So you're saying you're the value of emotional support, like doing the actual work to build it to that success.
I mean,
you're saying
also,
emotional
I'm pretty sure
support
she's
is worth
played,
that much
like,
money.
Yo,
used to be,
50
like,
50 is a little
COO
much.
of that
But it comes back
She
to what we
played
talked
an
about
active
a while
role in
ago, right? It comes back down to like what we we're talking about like a couple weeks ago about, oh, Elon Musk, he has his company, but like there are other people behind the scenes who are, who make that company valuable. Those people deserve credit too. I'm
Of
not
course.
saying she deserves credit for everything. 'Cause, again, I
50%
don't
of
know.
it?
Like,
Yeah,
Billions
that's all I'm
of
saying.
maybe she
dollars?
just married him
50's
and she's
crazy.
doing her own
50's
thing.
crazy,
And,
y'all. 50's a crazy
Why is
number.
50? Why is 50% crazy?
yeah.
So let me
Why are you
explain it
getting
from my
half
own.
of my
let me,
earnings?
Let me
Why-
explain it from
why?
my own experience. So when my parents got divorced, my dad had invented a product that went on the market, and this all happened while they were married. He licensed the product, and he started making a very decent amount of money, and for years they were able to live off that money. And while they were together, they were able to advance their life, move to a house, the thing.
For context, because it's important. What's a decent amount of money?
No, it's not.
It is.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's the money. It's above the. It's more than you would make at
because
a,
it
at
goes
a 9
to
to
show
5.
it goes to show how much 50% could really change someone's life.
Okay,
We're
but
using Jeff Bezos as the example.
This is just money that is just supplementary to their jobs. But my dad was able to get basically a passive income through this. But so my dad was the guy who invented it. My dad was the guy who put all the extra hours in, the guy who went out, made the deal, everything, all of that. My parents got divorced. My dad, before he got lawyers involved, just offered her 50% because he loved her. And he was like, I still love you. I want to make sure that it's fair. You can take care of the kids. Once the lawyers got involved, they started negotiating whatever. But I think it ended up being like a 70-30 or a 60-40 split. And from that perspective, I completely side with my mother, and I agree that she deserved all of the money that she got in that.
So you're saying she deserves the 40%?
I think she did deserve the 40%, but that's because I was there to witness her effect on
Right.
that, which was like she's sitting there while he's at work, working long hours, not being there for the family. She's taking care of the kids and doing all this other stuff. So her contribution was indirect toward the success.
Yeah, it allowed
of
him to do that.
It
Yeah.
allowed him to do that. So from that perspective, I understand it. But when I'm talking of you're a billionaire, bajillion dollar, whatever, does that same thing apply? Like if you're a super successful,
She invested in him. There's no Amazon without her, bro. Like Amazon failed 3 times and she put her own money up multiple times. Yeah, she deserves a fucking cut. You don't get Amazon without her.
Okay, maybe too specific of an example because too
No,
much.
but like it's all valuable.
okay,
Whether
let's not
I'm
talk
giving
about
you
money.
time,
Is the question?
whatever. If I'm giving you time to create something, do I not also get a cut out of that? Because you don't get the time to create that thing without me.
But that's like,
Doesn't it go both ways though? Is she not doing her own thing, or is she completely dedicating her life and sources to investing in that? It's dependent.
Exactly, but in both of those cases, she deserves a cut.
Not if she didn't give the full support. Not if she didn't sacrifice on her end to make that.
At what
happen.
point do you not sacrifice to create a billion-dollar company? There's sacrifice that's automatic.
Ain't gonna happen for me. But so if you had the wealth pre-marriage, is that a different story for y'all? Are you?
If you have the what?
The wealth. So if you didn't have that person standing by your side the whole time.
So if they married you when you were rich,
you were you had your money, yeah.
You already had your success, yeah.
Right. Is that a different
No,
story
it doesn't
for you guys?
change for me.
You still want to provide 50%.
Well, it's not about. I mean, at that point, it's gonna be about what your lawyers decide. Like you may not think you may not think you deserve.
Is there
50%
any
of
other
my
number
wealth,
but 50?
Yeah, 40,
I mean, no,
30,
there
it
is.
It could be negotiated.
Yeah, it can be
Is
negotiated. It's not always just.
Okay, I thought it was a
50%.
strict 50. Okay.
No.
Okay. I thought it was a strict 50. Never mind. Back to the whole relationship thing, though. Do you think there's a better way of doing relationships? Is monogamy the answer? Do you think maybe there's healthier ways of how we interact that might not result in as many divorces?
I think sexual relation or how you choose to live out your relationship is like the smallest percentage of what makes up a good relationship with someone. Like whether you think polyamorous or monogamy is the decider or like what you need to do, I think that's like the smallest. That plays like such a small or minute role in like healthiest relationships, because you can't do any of those things without other things that come before it: trust, the ability to communicate,
or at least have it be successful. Right, you'll still deal with the same shit.
Yeah, exactly. I think that plays like the smallest of roles.
That's super true.
Bro.
I agree with that.
People struggle with like in a relationship with just 2 people. Can you imagine being in a polyamorous relationship? Like I don't know how people do that.
You can if you're able to communicate and speak directly and you are trusting of your partner. It all comes down to how well you and your partner can communicate, agree on things, disagree and be able to communicate your disagreements. Like it all comes down to the ability to do this.
Remind me what that is, a polyamorous? What is that? When
Well, wait, yeah.
Multiple
Does that mean you have like a specific one girlfriend that's like the main girlfriend, and then you have a bunch of, or they all have the same?
I mean,
means
it depends on how you
multiple
define it, right?
people, exactly. You create your own rules within that relationship,
Yeah.
but it just means there's multiple people within the relationship.
Yeah, for me personally, I think that that's way too chaotic, and I probably wouldn't be able to like mentally like maintain that. Like, yeah, I would not be able to mentally like I can maintain a singular relationship, I think, pretty well, like communication wise, but I don't think I would have the mental capacity to maintain that many emotions and people, and yeah, I think I'd crumble in that space.
Even though you were a Boy Scout?
Yes, I was a Boy Scout.
They didn't train you to be
No.
prepared for shit like that?
No, they did not train me to be prepared. for
What
shit
did
like
they train you to do?
that. Light a match with my zipper.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I was able to light a match with my zipper for a fire building competition.
Did you win?
What do you mean with your zipper? How does that even work? Please describe it.
Like on my jeans, I was able to strike the match on my jeans, and it would turn into fire, and I would be able to light a
Oh, so you had a match.
yeah,
You
match.
just. Oh, okay. That's doesn't.
Not
like,
that
anyone can
impressive.
Can
Not
you
bad.
Yeah, anyone
confidently,
can- anyone
can you
can-
confidently do that? That's pretty fucking
Use
impressive.
a match.
I think we lost USPS, but I'm sure he'll be back.
That's pretty goddamn impressive, though.
Wait, is it?
I mean, go get a match and put on a pair of jeans. You tell me. You tell me.
And strike it against the zipper. I feel like that's not difficult.
Go ahead, try it, dude. Let me know. Let me
I
know,
mean,
dude.
I don't
will.
have pants on
I
right now,
thought-
but I
thought
will
you were
definitely
gonna be,
try
like,
that shit.
making like fire out of like
Let
sticks and
me.
stuff.
Oh, of course, yeah. We had to like get kindling and all that stuff, but then
But like that's hard. I feel like that's more of a skill than.
Bro, that's a party trick. What do you mean?
I was the first off. I
Yeah,
was the
that's-
only,
that's what I'm talking about.
wait. I was the only one in the troop that could do it, so it wasn't like
Could
It
you
was-
still
that's why
do
you're
it?
so defensive.
they were
Could
like
you
they
That's
still
why
were.
you're
do
so
it?
defensive.
I haven't tried, but they were like, "Yo, Todd, we need the fire now. We only have 3 matches. Go!" And I'd be like,
okay. This
"It
is
was a
Call of
competition.
Duty.
It was a competition. It was like a wood building like fire competition."
You just light
Wow.
matches upon your ding ding.
On your
Listen,
yeah.
So let me explain my experience with Boy Scouts, and you guys can tell me what you guys think of it. I don't know if you guys have done Boy Scouts, but
Nope.
my experience with Boy Scouts is when I was young. I thought it was really cool because I was able to. The thing I enjoyed most about Boy Scouts was spending time with my dad. Like we would compete in like Pinewood Derby, like racing little wooden cars, and my dad was super into it. We'd have like great cool designs. Like I made like a Pikachu car. I still have all like the designs that we would do. Like one year I wanted like a crocodile car or whatever, and we would do it and we'd race, and I would never win, even though we tried to cheat many times, put like weights in the front of the car, never won. But that was what I enjoyed in Boy Scouts when I was younger, like doing the camping, the social events. Like when I was like a kid, that stuff was super cool. The second that I got into middle school, and they started telling me like I had to complete the handbook, and it got super serious, and they're like, you need to start doing this, and then I realized like all the kids that I grew up with just were like, I just didn't fit in with anymore. Like I'd go to the meetings, and like there was very little athletic kids in my troop. So like we had like a Cub Scout Olympics or like a Boy Scout Olympics, and I literally won like every gold medal in every, because it was like throw a football, dribble a basketball, and like they just didn't have that, like that wasn't their thing. So I just didn't fit into that world after I was a kid. So like I hated going to the meetings. I didn't want to do it, and I ultimately ended that whole journey when I was in like 7th grade, I think, maybe even early, like 6th grade. But
Pretty far, no?
yeah, I mean, yeah, I did it for like whatever since I was like kindergarten. I mean, I was a Tiger Cub or Scout or whatever, and then the highest level I got to, and I think that this is one of the funniest things because I don't even know what it means, but the title was called a Weeblo.
A what?
A Weeblo Scout. And now, like looking back, and like, because at the time I had no idea that there was all like this sexual like allegations behind Boy Scouts and like touching kids and all that shit.
Subconsciously programming you to suck.
nothing
commander's ding.
nothing of my experience was like that. I didn't do anything like that. But the fact that the highest level was called the Weeblos, and I don't know what that means now, makes me think like, dude, I was fucking walking around with this thing saying a Weeblo Scout on my fucking chest.
Bradley. Goddamn. What do you know? How many badges do you need to get to the
I don't even know how it works, dude.
Eagle Scout? Eagle Scout.
I used to have a belt that had like belt loops, and like it would be like jog for a mile, and then you'd go to the store and buy the belt loop, and like I feel like this is where
you bought the loop, like you
they don't give it to you. So this is where I think it becomes not about the kids anymore. It becomes a super competition from the parents, because you would then like submit what you accomplished out of
parents
the
are just dragging these kids to these events. Just
like you would accomplish the things at home in the handbook, and like you would have your parents sign off that you did this. Yeah. And if you did that, you would just go get the stuff, and then they would present it to you at like the meetings.
Wait, so where are you buying this from? Is it like a Boy Scout?
There's a Boy Scouts of America store. It's just a regular store.
Oh, so this just sounds like it's about money.
It could have been. To be honest, I wasn't that ingrained with it. But at the end of the day, it seemed like all these kids that were just not athletic would be getting like the most athletic badges. And I'm like, dude, there's no way this makes any sense. And it just seems like the parents were just like, I want my kids to have the most fucking things and like the most fucking things on their belts. So like it would just be a competition of like, oh well, little Frankie has 12 badges he's receiving tonight for his accomplishments over the last week and a half. I'm like, dude, I don't give a shit about that. Like that's where I just don't like that. It got super political and like not cool. But I enjoyed like the fundraising stuff. Like I used to stand outside in front of like Wawa, collect money for the Salvation Army.
While you were in the Boy Scouts, were you ever jealous of the Girl Scouts?
I didn't even know Girl Scouts were a thing when I was in the Boy Scouts.
Other than selling cookies, what do you know what the activity of the Girl Scout was?
I think it's
they do the same stuff, just different activities, right?
Similar. I think it's similar things. They do like the same like camping, whatever. It's more about the camaraderie.
Yeah, it's like
I
the same.
I don't think they did camping though. I don't think they did that. I think it was like very.
They sell cookies.
They fucking baked and shit. Like,
believe it, I don't know. Okay, I don't know.
I'm not even. I think that was the case. I think it was very like.
I don't think all they did was bake. I'm pretty sure they did other stuff too.
Can you guys?
My point was, it was very like this idea of what a woman should be doing. Like there was such a contrast, and I think that's why it doesn't exist anymore. That's why we.
It still exists, doesn't it?
I don't
Girl Scouts still exists. No, it definitely does.
Oh, they definitely still exist. I don't think the boys. I mean, according to USPS, wherever he is, I don't think that the Boy Scouts of America exists because of all the sexual shit that was going on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but
wow.
But
So how did we manage that? But we didn't manage that with the. No, I'm not gonna make that joke. It's gonna anger too many people. So
let's go with this. You know how Girl Scouts, what they're notorious for selling? What product? Go ahead, say it.
Cookies.
What do you think? What do you think the Boy Scouts of America? What was our product that we would fucking sling?
Hot dogs,
boomerangs or some shit.
Boomerangs, hot dogs? No, we would sell a variety pack of popcorn. I used to go around in my apartment building and ask people to buy popcorn, and nobody liked the popcorn. It tasted like shit.
Wait, what variety? Like, what were the flavors?
There was like cheddar cheese, chocolate cheddar cheese, butter. I don't even know. It's just weird fucking popcorn flavors. Way too expensive. And then they even just made us sell like kernels, just unpopped kernels of popcorn. I'm like, dude, this is insane. Why are we competing with girls that sell Girl Scout cookies? And again, this is another thing where the parents come into it. They would just buy a shitload of the fucking popcorn just so their kid could be like the top seller. And then you go over these kids' houses and they just be like, hey, do you guys want popcorn for a snack? And like, oh, obviously you guys bought like all the goddamn popcorn. So you can. Yeah, dude. Boy Scouts was.
That's weird.
Yeah, super.
Wait, USPS, do you know if the Boy Scouts still exist?
Nah, they went bankrupt because they had to pay out to so many kids who all hopped on lawsuits for getting raped.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was...
Damn.
You thought it was going to be something light.
Yeah, no.
That was heavy.
Damn, that's crazy.
That was heavy.
Yeah. But have you recognized that Boy Scouts of America and fucking Girl Scouts are just slave labor? Don't you just get a pin for that shit for selling
Yeah.
more cookies? They make
But
millions
I was,
of
No, no,
I
dollars.
was
but-
saying to Hasbro too that like because he was saying the parents are the ones who go out and they just buy the badges. They don't give you the badges.
No,
for
you don't
completing
get it.
tasks.
It's not a gift. You have to go
Which
to
is
the
what.
store.
So basically,
Bro, what a
you
scam,
get your
man.
kid to do all this stuff, and then
Yo,
you
it's
end up
genius.
paying.
What a scam.
You end up
Yo.
paying them to just give
Yo,
you like
it's
to give you like a little
genius.
patch for your
It's
accomplishment.
you make them money and you give
Yeah.
it a patch.
That's crazy to me.
And you have to
That's
buy
insane.
these zero. I have to pay anything. 100% profit.
I don't have to
business.
pay you anything. You have to
Literally.
sit out in the sun for hours and scream at people begging them to give you money.
Wow.
You send them money, they give you 1% of it to the whatever your house that you just get raped in, and then and then you get a pin after all of that,
That you have to buy.
bro. And then they pay no taxes because I'm a non.
It's a non-profit, right? Yeah.
Yo, the best scam ever run
That's
in the world.
wild.
Want to learn how to fucking tie a goddamn rope? Make money. Make me $700 million.
First, you have to pay for that rope, and then I'll teach you. Then I'll teach you.
Oh my god.
That's actually crazy, dude. That's straight up like that has like the makings of a pyramid scheme, like dead ass.
It's not the makings of my nigga. That's all pyramid scheme. That's genius.
That's,
That's
the blueprint.
crazy.
That's the blueprint.
Untethered, guaranteed slave labor for the rest of existence. It's genius.
Wow.
Genius.
But it's crazy how they were like they were like part of like the culture. Like it was
so
like,
prideful to be a.
well,
like
yeah,
an Eagle
you know what I
Scout
mean. It was
and shit.
it was almost
An
like
Eagle
being like
Scout.
in a fraternity.
Everybody wanted to be Eagle Scout just because they could be like, I put it on my college thing, and like being an Eagle Scout, literally all you had to do was like
Get
breathe.
raped for multiple years.
It's like
Instead
the
of 15
accomplishments.
years, you had to do
I mean,
it
there was
for
there
5
was
years.
there was like certain things that you had to do that were like difficult to become an Eagle Scout. Like you had to like organize your own like
Take it up
foundation
the
or
butt.
like
Yeah.
a charity event that like was branded by you and
Bro,
like
the
you.
Eagle Scouts
raise a
listening to
certain
this
amount of
right
money.
now are probably so fucking mad.
Yeah, we're
right now.
probably gonna get, but
Nah, I don't care. I don't care about them. I generally don't.
USPS. I didn't mention this while you were
But-
when you fell off, but the highest level of scout I got to was about like 5th or 6th grade, and the level that the name that you're called is called the Weeblo, and I don't know what a Weeblo means now.
It's almost like they wanted you to get bullied. Like they were setting you up to be bullied. Like they could have given like Eagle Scout's a badass name. They could have continued.
Think
badass
about
name
that though.
throughout.
You lose
Word,
the community
like
everywhere
Tiger
else.
Scout.
The only people that accept you are in the because everyone's calling you Weeblo, so you have to continually keep going back to Boy Scouts, bro.
Bro. Also,
Genius.
it's like you don't get it. I'm a weeblo. Like you don't get it. It's like you're forced into this weird community where only everyone who's part of it understands.
Oh my gosh, did they infiltrate? Like, did they create that contrast so like people felt obligated?
You're gonna get bullied everywhere else except inside here where we're just weeblos together.
the weirdest fucking names. That's insane.
Oh my fucking
What
god.
Girl
Yeah.
Scout cookie did y'all? What was your favorite one though?
Yeah, you
Why are you saying what was my favorite one, dude?
Yeah.
I
It
fucking
still is.
That's a top
crushed
three.
those things, dude.
I
It was
haven't
the
purchased one in a
Thin
minute,
Mints and the coconut one. The
Yeah,
coconut
I
and
hate
caramel
it.
If
one.
you had to
Thin Mints.
choose,
Samoas.
One.
Samoas.
The Samoas.
Probably the
You're
coconut
saying
one.
Samoas USPS or you hate those?
No, Samoas are.
what are the
number one.
Samoas?
Which one? Which one is Samoa's?
Purple.
Those are the caramel. The
caramel with the coconut.
Say
Oh,
less.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Say
Put them
less.
in the
That's my
the
favorite one.
freezer, bro.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
doing.
dude.
Thin mints in the
Yes.
freezer. Thin mints in the
Oh.
freezer are also fucking A1. A1.
So
dude.
good. So
That
so
shit's
good.
delicious.
But they started like fucking around making new flavors and shit. Like I saw like s'mores and shit. I was like, yo,
No
what kind of-
way.
I was like, what kind of fucking shit is this?
On-
Wait,
on the
what?
new tip, I like the lemon drop ones.
the
Those
lemon,
aren't bad.
the lemon. They
Those
have these.
kind of slap.
They have these big ass like circles with a little chocolate on them. They're like oh, and when I was a kid, dude,
You're so-
I used to slap a whole sleeve of shortbreads in like a
Yes,
glass. Of,
bro.
Yes.
I used to slide the whole thing
Oh
into a
my
glass
God,
of milk and
yes.
just
Yeah.
Delicious.
Just
Yep.
deep
The
throat them
shortbread's
all.
always lit too.
Shortbread's fucking
Perfect.
bang.
Yeah.
yeah,
Bang.
dude.
Honestly, shortbread's my favorite cookie in general. So
Oh, really? Wow, yeah. The ones that always disappointed me were like the red peanut butter chocolate patty ones with the peanut butter like
I don't
on them.
like peanut butter.
I don't think I
That's
ever had
into
that
this.
one.
Hated them, dude. I love peanut butter and chocolate. I was like, dude, this is gonna be my favorite. Took a bite of it, never was a fan. Hated it.
Yo, Did you realize that's the only original cookie is the coconut and
The Samoa?
caramel one? That's the only like original theirs, right? Everything else
Yeah.
is just like shortbread, lemon, like they just stole from other
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
It's the famous original, isn't it?
What's that elf cookie company that pretty much just
Keebler?
makes all the fucking
Keebler.
Girl Scout cookies?
Yeah,
yeah, but they're not, they don't taste the same though.
Yeah, I never had them, but I see.
No,
them
they
very-
don't, because the Keebler one I actually tried
for
the
$2
the-
less, it tastes the
the
same.
caramel and coconut one. It does not taste the same.
No,
No, it's off.
I would say the texture's a little off, but it tastes pretty similar for me.
No,
at least.
No, I had it and I was like, I don't like this, and I
Alright.
know I like this cookie. So
We'll
something is
need a
off.
comparison video one
Yeah.
day. We'll just
Well, I
do
mean,
a
where can you
whole-
even get Girl Scout cookies anymore? Like, can you like
Yeah,
Probably,
buy?
yeah.
on,
you
probably on
can-
eBay for $200 a fucking
No,
pack.
you can buy them in stores. Like they have them on. The
Oh, you
shelves.
can.
Yeah.
And
you
then
don't
what it
even
says
have
like
to.
it says like Girl Scouts of America on the box.
Yeah, it has the same packaging. You can
First
just
off,
buy
first off,
it
if
out
you
the
guys,
store.
I got a plug. So if you guys need someone, I got someone that
Shit.
can. I got.
Oh,
someone that can
word?
do Girl
Is
Scout
she
cookies.
allowed outside? Like, is she in your basement?
What do you mean that? I know a Girl Scout. Right?
That's
She's
the
my
only
cousin.
way. That's
whatever
the
you
only
say.
way. That's the
Yeah,
only
whatever
way.
you say, buddy.
Listen, dude, she wants to win that fucking whatever they give if you sell the most cookies. So if you guys want to buy some cookies, let me know.
Say less. Say less.
Yeah, no, I do. We'll talk about this afterwards. 'Cause
Absolutely.
I can do that hookup.
Yeah.
Wait, how
Doing
come
business.
How come? Okay, so Boy Scouts had the whole like rapey thing that they were dealing with. Boy Scouts were dealing with that. Girl Scouts don't have that problem.
Well, I think Girl Scouts were actually ran by the female leaders.
Yeah, but
Well,
female
was it-
leaders can
Females don't
also
need to rape either.
touch people.
I think it's the statistics heavily favor men in a
Is that
negative
just
way.
because of lack of reporting. Is there a reporting
Yeah,
bias-
are we
reporting
sure?
bias?
Maybe a lack of reporting, but I'm just talking about pure statistics that maybe.
Like, are we saying what men are hornier than women? Because I don't know if that's true.
I don't know if it's hornier, but I think
But
that
the little
they're more
boys?
predatory. Predatory
You think men are more predatory than women?
to children? I mean, historically, yes, I think so.
Nah, dude. I think that's that's a reporting bias. Like, I think you're less
Really?
likely to report being abused by a woman because of the stigma that comes along with it.
Really, you really think that?
Even
You really
if
think
you're a
it's
girl?
even?
If you're a girl and you're abused by a woman,
Yeah, I think so.
Speaking of
really?
that, would you
Yeah.
ever?
Hmm.
Well, no, not would you ever.
I mean,
but-
think about the gymnastics thing. Anytime a girl, like old guys, deal with young girls, it's never a good thing, like ever,
because we know about it.
literally
is-
ever.
This is a little bit anecdotal, but yeah, I get what you're saying. I think we have more examples.
Bro,
of
I had
men
a
abusing
social
women.
I had a social studies teacher that looking back, I'm like, dude, the way he was looking at some of you guys was a little bit too like they were overdeveloped for like 7th graders, but like, come on.
Wait. Do you remember our freshman year that one of the
Oh
Yeah, dude.
actually
Yeah.
was dating? Yeah,
Yeah,
and
dude.
got
Wait,
in
wait,
trouble
wait,
for
wait,
it.
wait, what
I
happened?
remember that.
What happened?
Yeah.
One of the gym teachers was in a sexual relationship with like a cheerleader.
Yeah, one of the students.
She
Yeah.
was my peer leader too.
A below 18
She was your peer leader?
Yeah, she taught me that was okay.
Yo, wait. I feel like I was a peer leader. I feel like I was was I a peer leader with you, Hassan?
You weren't with me, but I think you were a peer
I was a
leader.
peer leader with you. Yeah, I was a peer leader with you. I know that.
pretty sure you were.
I remember doing those meetings.
I think you
like-
were a peer leader.
Yo, I look like the fucking kid, so I don't think I got. That's a senior year thing where you get the opportunity to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got
Yeah,
passed
yeah.
up on that. That was my first denial into the job realm, and that
You
was
have a
it.
job. You have a whole job.
That was it. Not a happy one.
Chill. I'm gonna send this to the CEO. You get fired.
He better. Nah, he'll keep me. I'm gonna pay you more just to keep you here.
Oh my god. But yeah, no. I never was part of Boy Scouts. Boy Scouts didn't exist where I was around. But Boy Scouts are like really responsible for for like a lot of famous people, like getting them to the place that they are now, like giving them an opportunity to get out of like poor spaces and stuff like that.
Hmm.
I don't want to misquote, but I think like Denzel Washington was a Boy Scout or whatever. But there's a lot of examples of
But
celebrities who
I think that better thing would be like the boys and girls clubs. Like I feel like those
Oh,
those
maybe
are a
that's
bunch
what
of
it
the
is.
boys and girls clubs like
Yeah.
in, like rural city or like
Yeah.
cities where like
Because those are in like under
Yeah,
bad
underprivileged,
neighborhoods and
yeah.
stuff, right?
where they can just go like a clubhouse type environment where there's like
Yeah.
adults like mentor them. I don't think that's the same as a Boy Scout. Like a Boy Scout is like super like
No, because for
you need
Boy
to be able
Scouts,
to afford
you need
things.
money to be in a Boy
yeah,
Scout.
yeah.
So.
You need to be able to like you need to be
Yeah.
able to buy like fucking whatever the fuck
badges
buy,
and
badges.
yeah, and rope to
Yeah.
sell and to learn how to
Bill
dive.
Gates and Michael Jordan are the most memorable that I've seen so far.
Bill Gates and Michael Jordan.
Yeah, they were both.
Well, Bill Gates.
Well, Bill Gates clearly learned a little too much. So,
Yo, if you're making that much money and someone's like, "Yo, you can drink this baby's spinal fluid," you're saying you would turn it down?
yes.
If
I
I'm
wouldn't.
making that money and I'm
Why do I have a thirst for baby spinal fluid?
You don't,
Yeah.
but only rich people
oh, it's a
at
rarity.
that level
It's a
or
rarity.
have the opportunity for a dude to approach them with that.
I think
I'm
I'd rather
just
just have
saying.
like, give me a glass of water. Or
I'll
something.
take fucking oat
Yeah,
milk.
better.
Give me some oat milk or some shit. Yeah.
So
I
actually
feel like
I have a
y'all
question.
are gassing.
I have a question. This might be super controversial. I might get locked up for this, but so when you guys or when Akofa sent the Bill Gates story, I was responding. I don't know if any of you got it because none of you responded, but I quoted the Lil Wayne.
No, I got
lyric,
that.
Right?
Yeah.
And the so originally I wrote out like the lyric before that, but it says the N-word. But I was like, dude, is this okay to write the N-word if I'm quoting a song? Is that okay?
No, you can't get that
no,
off.
you can't do
Okay.
that.
You can't get
Okay.
that off.
Okay, there
But
you
you
go.
can fill it in with something else.
You try.
Yeah.
You try. For
Like
all the white
see
people.
see if I put like I was typing it out, I was like, okay, if I change this to like brothers or whatever, are they gonna be like, why didn't you just say the N-word?
Or
are you,
you
like,
No,
hiding
all
it?
you gotta do is just
Uh.
do N and then star the rest of it. And we get
Yeah.
then
Okay,
we get
so
the idea.
so the proper etiquette is to start out. Don't actually
Yeah.
type it out.
Yeah.
Proper
But
etiquette
don't
is to
start
always
the
ask
whole
us
thing,
first,
though.
nigga.
But don't start the whole thing because then we'll just be there trying to like guess like we're playing Hangman or something. Like you gotta write N and then star the rest of it out. And then we'll get it.
Wait,
And the
Don't
last
s-
letter
don't
too,
say-
or no, just one letter.
Don't say hangman. Okay, that's not what you want to say.
wait.
I'm playing hangman.
Did you guys peep it? I have a J. Cole lyric that's been stuck in my head all week because it's so fucking fire.
Wait, which
Like,
one?
From
It's
the
from-
new,
Yeah, but it's from the LA Leakers freestyle. It goes, "Let's face it, he one of the greatest. No Bill Cosby shit. But if niggas
Oh.
is sleeping, then fuck them."
yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that. I saw
Yeah.
that.
That is such a fucking
That
fire
whole
lyric.
freestyle was fire.
No, he actually fucking killed that shit.
Yeah. that
That's
shit was fire.
bodied, bro. But if niggas are sleeping, then Bill Cosby, fuck them. Oh my god, that had me. up
He
all
got
night.
some hate for it though, right? I'm pretty sure he
Yeah,
got some hate.
I mean, I'm sure.
People are
but
always
that's
gonna
just
have-
a
people are always
fire
gonna do
bar.
that.
That's a fire bar.
Like, and honestly, why are we getting mad at him? He's not the one who actually did that stuff. It was Bill Cosby. So
Bro,
not his fault.
like, let him get his shit off.
Yeah.
That's just good lyricism. Oh my
yeah,
God.
that album was very good, very good.
Yeah. Sorry, I got us off track a little bit.
I think we need to leave the Boy Scouts arena anyway. I think we've covered the topic.
Should we get off of Boy Scouts? Do you think do Boy Scouts go to the water? Do they have the opportunity to possibly get stung by jellyfish? Is that a thing?
We never did any camping on the beach. We only did it in the woods where no one could be heard.
You know what's funny? What if you're from Hawaii? Like, how does that benefit you? Like,
not a
you're
Boy Scout.
surrounded by water.
You're not a Boy Scout.
yeah, you're not a Boy Scout. They
Boy
do
Scouts
other
don't Boy Scouts don't exist in tropical environments.
stuff.
Yo, also, what if I'm a Boy Scout in Chicago? Like, how does this help me, bro? There's just concrete jungles everywhere.
They just
Nah,
drive.
then you
they
Here's
just
a
drive
rope,
you to
tie
the
it.
Boys and
Thank you.
Girls
This
Club.
will never help me.
Yeah, you're just in the Boys and Girls Club at that point.
They just
That's
drive you to
whack.
O Block. They just drop you off and they're like, "Go learn."
Survive. Don't die. Oh my god. That's so interesting. But yeah, jellyfish. Are you guys scared of jellyfish by chance?
Well, let's start here. Has anyone here ever been stung by a jellyfish?
No, it's actually
I
one
have
of my
not.
biggest fears.
I have not. I have scooped
Well,
a
luckily,
jellyfish.
I have been stung by
Oh
a
my
jellyfish.
fucking god, is it as bad as it looks?
Okay, so the jellyfish that I was stung by, one was not one of those like big like fucking. Those things are the ones that scare the fuck out of me. Like those
Yeah,
ones in the
yeah.
ocean where they look like fucking.
Yeah, you could get
So-
lost in it.
I feel
I
like
used
you
to
got to be 50 meters below sea to encounter one of those.
So I used to go. I used to go to.
God.
I used to go to the down the shore and in the bay, we used to, go on jet skis and stuff. And if you'd fall off the jet skis, there would be a large concentration of jellyfish in the bay, and they had stingers, but they were like very small little jellyfish, but they would travel in like packs. I don't even know if they're traveling. They kind of just are floating together in packs. And if you'd fall into like a thing of jellyfish, it would hurt like a motherfucker, but it wasn't like a poisonous thing. Like it didn't even feel like a bee sting. It was more of like you felt them on you, and then you would just like when you came out of the water, you would feel irritation and like, oh fuck, I got stung, and then it would start to sting a little bit, and then it would go away after a few days. But if you like,
so you didn't pee on yourself?
See, no, yeah. So that's like when you get for like a poisonous jellyfish sting, where like the jellyfish has the ability to like kill you or whatever. You're supposed to pee on it to like stop the poison and whatever.
Wait, isn't there like a jellyfish called the Man of War? That's like a giant jellyfish or something like that.
Probably. There are some big ass fucking jellyfish.
Is there a one-shot done jellyfish? If you get stung once, you're dying.
I mean, if that jellyfish is called Man of War, I think that's the one. I'm willing to put money on the fact you get stung by him.
It's huge, though.
Good
like,
game.
it's like
But it's the
giant.
nicest one. It just cradles you. It's like, hey, baby.
Come here, come close, baby.
But no, I thought, I thought like the only way you could really like die, well, like with those little jellyfishes, if like 1,000 of them come at you, but I don't know
But
if
nigga,
these
that's
are-
how they travel. Minimum 1,000.
Wait,
They're
yeah,
all
do
together.
jellyfish travel in packs?
I'm pretty sure they don't come one by one. They come gang, ready to fuck shit up.
Do they really? I mean, like, how do they not get tangled in each other?
Do they even swim, or do
tentacles.
they just let the tide take
They,
them wherever
no,
the
they
fuck
float.
they go?
No, they can swim. They float though. But
Or
they have
do
like.
they-
But
can-
they don't have any will. They just
No,
let the
no, they
tide
do.
take
They
them
have
wherever
like
they
their.
want?
I don't know what they call it, but like they undulate. That's what it is. They undulate in the water.
Oh, they clench, they tighten and relax.
Sure. Yeah. If
Okay.
that's what we want to call it. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I
no,
mean, like-
I think I like. Can you imagine if jellyfish were like they had the whale brain? Like we had an orca brain on a fucking.
Ooh, dude, they would fucking. Dude,
I'm
Bro, that'd be OD.
I'm weirdly terrified of jellyfish. I don't know what
Really?
it is, but they scare the
Because
fuck out
there's
of me.
Wait,
no
is it-
face. There's nothing,
is
but
it-
they're like
is
a
it the
living
tentacles?
thing.
It's like the idea that I could be swimming and then the niggas could just be like, yo, look at him. Yo, let's all just go surround him real quick. Let's just fucking.
But,
But
that
that's
could
the
have, but
thing,
like, wait, but
they
like,
don't even do that.
Does that scare you more than a shark though, or no?
Yes, absolutely.
Really?
No, get out of here. Get
No,
out of
I'm
here.
not even joking.
So you
I'm
could be
dead
swimming and a
serious.
shark could just come and bite you, and that doesn't scare you.
So if
No,
you
no,
saw,
no, the
so if
level
you saw,
of fear is different. If I saw a jellyfish and I was like swimming, it's like I'm not going in the water for the rest of the time.
Are
But
you?
if you saw a shark, you'd go back in.
I would
you
think
saw,
it's cool. I would think it's cool.
You're
you saw
lying, you're
10-foot great white shark just swimming around.
No,
Nah,
no, no,
I
no.
would think
10
that
foot's a
shit is
baby. If you saw a 30-foot great white shark,
All right.
you'd be like, oh, let
First
me get
off,
back in there.
why am I putting myself in that?
You're in
environment?
Jaws 10. You're in Jaws 10.
Then I'm getting eaten anyway. So
Wait, okay. You fall off the boat. The first thing you're thinking is, "Fuck, gotta get away from these jellyfish." Not. Oh
I'm
my
not even.
gosh.
I think you guys think I'm joking. I'm dead serious. I have a weird phobia of jellyfish. I don't
Have
know
you ever
why.
seen like you ever seen the jellyfish that wash up on shore that are like just the little discs?
Yeah, I step
you're
on them
Yeah.
and I talk shit. Like,
Yeah, right.
fuck
So
you,
that,
nigga, tell your
that-
friends.
those things are. See, that's why I don't understand. Do jellyfish have any consciousness, or are they literally
Yo,
just fucking
whales
around
fucking
floating?
they fucking wash up on shore too. Like animals just wash up on shore.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they're dead or they're
Nah,
hunting
no,
or
they don't.
something.
Nah,
I mean, you've
nah.
heard of beached whales, right?
Yeah, but they're normally like
Alive
hunting
whales?
or something when they're like starving. They're fucking they're like trying to get food and they're like chasing something and then they're like, oh fuck, I'm too big.
Why is
And then
that?
they just keep getting.
That's a thing.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what
fuck,
happens.
I'm too big.
No whale is trying to
Oh,
start walking on the
man.
beach.
What do you think?
Fuck, I'm gonna die
Oh.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens.
blows the water out of it. Oh fuck! Blows the water out.
Wait,
of
that's
it.
exactly how I would picture a whale speaking too. Like, oh fuck, I'm gonna die. That's how a whale sounds for sure.
Damn, bro.
Whales just sound overweight. That's really what you said. No,
Nah, yeah, I'm not scared of jellyfish. I think jellyfish are cool, honestly.
jellyfish and giant squids. Two things I am terrified of.
Fair.
Okay, the squids gross me out.
Giant,
they actually, like,
giant
gross
squid
me
is
out.
terrifying. They have a
Giant
fucking
Yeah.
squid is.
beak. They have a
Yeah.
beak like a fucking
Yeah.
bird,
They
dude.
have a-
What the
Wait,
fuck?
but do octopus
Their eyeballs are so big.
Oh,
do
one
octopuses or
eyeball.
octopi, whatever, do those scare you or no?
Yeah. There's
Yeah,
gonna
dude,
be-
they do.
Nah,
You
Those,
see
I just-
how
I
they
read-
those don't
move,
scare me
Munchie?
because they're
I
really
respect
smart.
it.
Like
I
octopus are really
respect it.
smart.
'cause I
Smart,
know
but that's
it-
what
yeah, I know
scares
it's
me. You see
cheesy.
how they move and a brain like that? It's game
Yeah.
over.
Don't
No,
they have
I
like?
know it's over. That's why I'm not mad at that. It's just like, oh, okay.
Respectfully,
octopus are
this is
like-
how
Yeah.
I want to die. This
Word,
is how I
yo,
love
yo,
to
just
die.
dab me up before you kill me. I just
Word.
want respect.
But he
yeah.
gives you one of these, psych, and then just fucking kills
You're stupid.
you. Silly boy. God.
All octopus in my head or octopi have a monocle. I don't care what anyone says. They all swim around with monocles.
When I think of jellyfish, I always go to the Finding Nemo scene where they're like where the crush is like gotta take on the jellies, like where they're like
yeah, they
That's
gotta
what I think
swim
about, dude.
through 'em.
That's what I
Yo,
think about. Where they're like
It's
bouncing
dangerous
on
for
the
even
tops.
fucking fish. Like, no way.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't
How
know.
do they do? So do jellyfish eat the fish, or they just like kill the fish and then just like let it die?
They
What do they
sting it
eat?
And then just fucking hump
Yeah, I
it.
don't think jellyfish eat like flesh.
What do they eat though?
A ma-
I think they
Jellyfish
eat
eat-
like probably like flying like plant matter and shit. I feel like they're not carnivores or carnivorous.
But like their
No
tentacles
way.
have like electricity and shit in them. Like that's
Is it?
They
I thought it was
dine
just a
on
poison.
eh,
I didn't think it was
jellyfish.
electricity.
According to Kids National Geographic, jellyfish dine on fish, shrimp, crabs, and tiny plants.
they eat crabs.
So they're
What is this?
omnivores.
Who eats it up for them before they fucking? They don't have mouths. How does that work? Do they have a mouth?
Do they like absorb it? Is that what
Maybe
they do?
yeah, maybe they're amoeba like
Yeah.
and just like
Oh, that's even
engulf
creepier.
it.
They just hug it until
They
it
just
Yeah.
engulf it. Yeah.
decomposes itself. That's crazy.
Kind of like a snake. You just swallow it whole and just
Yeah.
let it do its thing.
Nah, but snakes eating animals whole is low key. Like, have you ever seen a video of that?
Oh,
That's
it's
High
fucking-
key, so cool.
it's
high
cool,
key
but it's so
so
nasty.
cool.
Like,
Dude,
you can
it's
see
crazy
The
that
body, like the
you're
shape
just
of the
willing-
animal in it. It's like
Would-
weird.
Would you guys eat like that if that's how humans ate? Like, hey, you got to eat this whole deer at one sitting.
Can
you
you
can't
not
move
move?
for, like-
I mean, if that's
Yeah.
how we
Move
had
for
to eat,
3
like,
months.
we wouldn't have any choice. you
Nah, I
know?
would do it.
What
I would
is
go
your what is your
smaller-
9 to 5 look like if like that's how we had to eat? Like how do we accommodate for that in a society where we still have to work?
We would
Like
just
we-
be remote like we are now.
Yeah. Or you'd probably just eat like small stuff and like seven, like probably like what, like
Yeah, what do fat people look like in that environment?
We all are now temporarily. We
Yeah,
have a
right.
fucking deer
Yeah,
in
no,
us.
you're so right, bro.
Wait,
What
going
is-
back to Finding Nemo, is that stream a thing? Is there really a current that is in the
yeah,
water?
they're
Yeah.
currents all over.
In
Well, I
the
don't know-
water though?
Well, I don't.
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
the water, but I don't know if that specific one in the movie is a thing. But yes, there are things as like currents, underwater currents and stuff.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That should be
I
a
don't know if they'll
tourist
Like the same way,
attraction, bro.
that there are currents in the air too. Like planes that are like flying. Like if they catch a current, then they use less gas or less fuel or whatever to get to the
Yeah.
destination and stuff. So
Interesting.
yeah,
But is
There's
it
current- I
isn't
mean-
that relatively erratic, or is there like locations where there's always going to be that current?
no, it's like
Yeah.
mapped out. Like it's mapped out.
Yeah, you can find maps of that stuff.
Yeah, like you can map out like the currents in the water and stuff like that. Like there's like a Gulf Stream. Like that's like a real thing. Like
Don't
down in the Gulf.
play with me.
I don't
How
know- I don't
fast
know where
do you
it
go,
leads,
bro.
but-
I'm gonna fucking take a
That-
scuba
that's-
tank and
that-
just.
That's the future of travel. You know, we're just gonna hop into these streams and just.
Why
I'm gonna
don't
go to
we?
Europe.
I feel like why not?
Well, I mean, it does. We don't do that because we live on land. That's why we don't do that.
I know, but we already discussed that we're gonna have to live underwater soon, or Mars. But I think underwater is gonna be the next. The next
This would be
move.
dope. Atlantis would really, I like an Atlantis type feel. I think would be so cool. I would love that.
Fuck Mars, yeah. I'd rather that than Mars, 100%.
Honestly, I don't know if I could live in Atlantis if jellyfish are going to be there.
Well,
would
they'd
have
be
to
outside
rethink
the
that.
But what if they're your servants? They just fucking carry you food.
No, I'm good on that. Every servant at one point overthrows, and I don't want to get overthrown by jellyfish, bro.
At one point,
Nah.
overthrows.
Yeah, there's always
So-
at some point some rebellion where the servants fucking organize and take over.
true,
Nah,
it's
bro,
true.
I'm good on that.
No,
So,
but
uh,
you just get the orcas to be your bodyguard and you're good.
Word.
You know what's funny? In my head, I know
Even
it
the jellyfish
it
can
can't be
overpower
true.
a fucking orca.
Bro, but like, just think
you
about
think they're
how many.
playing us? They look dumb.
I think
they
if
look
all the
stupid.
yeah, exactly. If all the jellyfish were like, yo, today's the day we're just gonna gang up on niggas and just like end days.
That's true.
There's who's stepping to them?
Take
No
it out.
one,
Wait,
bro.
hold up. What
Me.
eats jellyfish? Can someone look that up? Something has to
Whales.
eat them.
People
Whales?
things eat them. Yeah, things eat them. Yeah, for
I
sure.
think
Okay.
jellyfish are a delicacy somewhere.
Probably.
Nah, I don't think so.
No, for sure humans eat
Yeah,
jellyfish.
no, we eat fucking everything.
Because I feel like they must be hard to catch. Like you can't
So-
just like go to a
Hard
spot
to
and
catch.
fish
I
for
could go on the
jellyfish.
beach right now and fucking pop.
So-
four
so
in
do
my
you-
mouth.
Y'all are
No, but,
really
like-
underestimating.
So
jellyfish,
US,
and I don't
USPS,
like it.
USPS.
You don't even want to talk bad about them. You think they're hearing you right now?
I'm scared.
So USPS, when you were a kid, you never watched SpongeBob. You never seen the episode where Mr. Krabs was, smushing all the jellyfish and taking their jelly to make the Krabby Patties.
How did they
You ne-
react? How
you
did
never-
they react?
That's true. They
How
got
did they
pissed.
got
react?
mad.
Oh, they got
Yeah.
fucking mad.
Yeah,
And I'm saying
and
you
then
wouldn't
what
want
they did?
you didn't want to try the jelly.
No,
You don't want to
I
try the
didn't.
jelly.
No.
That
Nah,
shit-
that looked gross.
I watched the
that
entire
looked really
episode,
nasty.
saw how it ended, and said, "Oh, cool. I don't want those problems."
Damn. Wait, was that like a subconscious message to what we do to like fucking cows and shit? We just
Yes.
squeeze milk
Wait.
out of them.
Wait. I watched something recently where the Krusty Krab is in the shape of a crab catcher.
Yeah.
and at
crab
one
cakes.
point, Mr. Krabs goes when he eats a Krabby Patty, he goes, "Oh, this is what I taste like."
Yeah.
The secret ingredient
Is
is-
crab?
crab, and Mr. Krabs is just killing his own people.
So he's a cannibal.
He's a fucking cannibal.
So it's just a
Also,
fucking
he
Luke's
has
lobster.
a whale for a daughter. So what?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Wait, what was her name again? Pearl, right? Pearl?
Yeah.
Yikes.
Okay.
Mm.
Would you smash?
And he tries to hook up SpongeBob with his daughter, his
Right.
high school daughter, and
Imagine
like a
just ask that.
30-year-old SpongeBob.
Imagine.
Who-
kissing-
No,
who's
I
also
would-
a
no, I
cook
wouldn't
for his
smash
restaurant.
Yeah, right.
I'm good. I'll pass. I wouldn't smash the whale.
You would
You
not
wouldn't?
smash her.
I'd
No.
smash. I'd
She
smash.
You
has,
smash?
she has the absolute
I want to
worst
fuck a
voice.
blowhole. I want to fuck a blowhole.
Would you smash Sandy too or no?
Or
Or Mrs. Puff?
nah, her teeth.
Are
freak
you
me out.
asking me
Mrs.
if I would
Puff, bro?
smash Sandy?
Yeah, I'd put it in
Let's
one of
get it.
those.
Her name's Sandy Cheeks.
Cheeks,
dude.
yeah,
Of
bro.
course I'm gonna smash, dude. She's-
You're gassing.
Bro,
Those
I feel
teeth
like
are
the
terrifying.
the tail will get in the way, bro. No, fuck that.
Nah,
Definitely
that's
Mrs.
just,
Puff.
or is that just something to hold
Cheeks,
on
dude.
to?
Mrs. Puff roleplay. If you don't pass this driving test.
what?
Nah, Pearl's got it, bro. She got multiple holes. I
Bro,
can never
she's
get
12.
bored.
Literally
I'm
12
talking. I'm talking.
If we're talking
12-year-old me.
hypothetical, she's of age.
She is of age.
She's been on fucking television for 20 years.
That's true. That's true.
She can get dick now.
Oh
Yeah, I'm trying to. We're going to the next level.
My
I
piano.
already told you. I already told you, baby.
Well. So who do you think would win in a fight? Jellyfish or fucking
I'm
orcas?
biased, bro.
Orcas.
Orca. What? Of course, Orca, dude.
According to
No,
I feel
USPS.
like the orcas.
I'm
Would
I'm
just
taking
eat 'em.
Orca every dude. Orca is
I feel like an orca would just eat it.
anything on the earth, dude. Anything on the earth.
Think about it.
Orca.
It's almost like getting outnumbered by like 700,000 babies. That's how I'm viewing.
But you're forgetting orcas are never alone. So you got a
Four
whole pod of
orcas.
orcas.
How much
Okay,
can they
fine.
eat,
That's
though?
6. That's like 6 orcas.
No, dude, they travel in like packs of like 20, dude.
Plus 2 million.
700,000 fucking.
Plus, the
Jellyfish.
orcas is
But,
the orcas
but,
can
but
gang up too.
jellies
The
can't
orcas can gang up
communicate to
too.
each other.
But they still
Yeah.
have to swim for each attack. All the
First
niggas
off,
have to do
how are
is
they
sit there.
attacking it too? They can only eat so much.
Exactly.
What is their other attack as an orca?
They swim,
Also,
they
you
swim
just
away.
swim
chewing
away.
on-
Just
they
swim
No,
away,
it's a
dude.
No,
fight.
think
It's,
about
it's
it.
a Pokemon battle. It's like you're
Or they
staying
use
there.
they
bro.
use
You
tail whip.
can't-
That's what they do. They can use tail whip.
Yeah,
and their
just push
defense
them
is
away.
lowered. The fuck? This isn't a goddamn.
A
Pokemon
jellyfish
battle.
isn't dying. A jellyfish isn't dying from a tail whip though.
That's what I'm saying.
Bro, are you
Bro,
talking? Are
you
you
just-
You
It's
kidding me? You can
placing.
smash if you hit a jellyfish
If a-
hard enough. You're gonna like it's
If
gonna.
I
orca-
bitch slap a jellyfish, it's
But
not.
it doesn't.
It's just gonna be like.
it doesn't have skeleton. It's just like
if
the.
a 30,000 pound
amoeba.
orca
Right, but like if you hit it
jumps
hard
out of
enough,
the
it's
water.
gonna explode.
It'll
With enough
just
force, it'll just,
belly
like,
flops
explode.
on the fucking jellyfish pod, they're
What?
Whoa,
tail
whoa, whoa,
whip-
whoa! Hold on. Repeat what you just said, Steph.
If you hit it hard enough, it'll just explode.
How
what are
hard
you
of a-
talking about?
I
What?
support that. I agree.
Right? Like think about it. If you use enough force
So a
and
bullet.
smash it, it'll
So
just
orcas
explode.
have bullets? No. they
No,
don't
with
have
their
a bullet.
tail whip.
How quick or we're still basing this in reality. There's no way.
I
it's
know.
gonna
We're not
work.
basing
you
this
guys
in
are- you
reality.
guys are
We're
saying-
not basing
you
this
guys
in
Yes,
are
we
saying
reality.
the
are.
jellyfish
No,
is
because
gonna
in
gang up
reality,
and take
orcas
over
would just
everybody.
dip, dude. Orcas would just dip.
But they can't dip. They're cornered.
So it's
Also,
not
in
reality.
the
They're, okay, hold on.
Ocean,
They're
just-
cornered in the
Wait, wait.
ocean.
Wait, hold on.
Cornered in the
Chill,
ocean.
chill,
Is that
chill,
what you're
chill.
telling me?
There's
They're
700,000 jellyfish. You're telling me he's opening his mouth, eating all of those jellyfishes, and chewing on all of them. They're not stinging the insides of his mouth.
But beyond
and
that,
everything?
he could only
Fuck
eat
it.
so much. He can't
Exactly.
eat
Bro,
all-
bro, bro.
Tail
you
whip
know-
or hop
dude,
on a stream. And
Yeah,
you're
no,
good
for
at it.
sure. He should just jump into the boat, drive the boat, then get off and walk
Ask-
out
ask-
of the water.
Buy a gun
The
at
fuck?
Dick's Sporting Goods, bring it back, and fucking shoot these jellyfish out.
Nah, this
Go get-
needs to jump
go-
into a Gulf Stream when he's
Go
gone.
get Steph Curry's fucking whatever that shit's
His cleaning
called.
product is fucking
Yeah, his-
ammonia.
The thing he used. No. Go get his
Oh, my sponge?
his washcloth and fucking
Yes,
catch.
you guys.
Bro, I
Up-
kid you
update
not.
to
That
you
shit
guys.
actually gets the job done. I'm not kidding.
Steph Curry
Bro.
uses a fishing net.
It's not a fishing net. It's a sponge.
That is
Fishing net
exact.
That
calls
is
it
not a
washcloth,
sponge. That is
and
not a
isn't
sponge.
Yes, it is.
That
Suspicious.
is,
not a
it's
sponge.
not porous
Fishing
in
net
any
or the-
format.
That is
What
a
do you
fishing
mean?
net.
A
That is-
loofah's porous?
Yeah, that's not. That's just fucking a hole. That's a gaping miniature
Dude,
hole.
No,
That's
nah,
not
now
a
you're
porous.
just
fishing
gassing
net,
now.
dude.
No. Now you're just
You
exaggerating.
use
That's-
a net.
that's a
That's a
fishing
net
net. I don't
I
use
use
a
to
net.
hold my
Kofa
soccer
catches
balls.
himself every shower.
Oh damn!
Like I said,
You're not
it catches
going
all the
anywhere.
Like I said, it
Clean.
catches all the dirt. It cleans me up.
Oh my fuck.
Gets the job done.
No wonder you don't have to replace it in after 300 years. That thing is fucking-
It's a goddamn
Oh my
net
God.
made out of nylon. That's crazy, bro. Wow.
Yeah, bro. I
It's
don't
awesome.
like jellyfish. I think jellyfish are the most terrifying creatures. I don't know why.
But can someone actually look up to see if humans eat them though? I want to know. Like what dishes? Like are they like in
I
soup?
feel like Google will just have to say maybe. Do you know that Google sometimes
jellyfish
have you ever
are
recognized they just says sometimes jellyfish or sometimes just says maybe?
Google.
No, I use DuckDuckGo, so you know
Respect.
I need my real answers.
Yes, edible jellyfish is a seafood that is harvested and consumed in several East and Southeast Asian countries.
I bet you we don't need orca.
No,
Just saying.
that'd be blasphemous to eat orca.
While,
I
while
could
you're
never.
there,
Eat
could
orca.
you look up how octopi camouflage themselves? How does that work?
It's pigments in their skin.
Go watch a documentary, bro. This isn't
Yeah,
the
for real.
fucking.
It's nah. If you're really interested in that, you should learn about cuttlefish. Cuttlefish are really cool.
Nah,
Cuttlefish.
wait. Octopus control muscles under their skin that
Yeah.
can make it look smooth or bumpy. That's
Yeah, dude.
muscular.
Octopuses are crazy.
Niggas are
But
just
cuttlefish are
flexing
cool,
and
dude.
changing the texture of their skin. That's ridiculous.
Wait,
Yeah.
you just did it right now, dude.
Oh, where you saw me?
Yeah, you just flexed, bro. I saw that.
But yeah,
Finally,
Flubbo, watch a documentary. Just go on YouTube and just look up cuttlefish. Those things are crazy.
yo, Steph Curry spends mad time in his day just watching different animals.
Yo, I'm trying to learn
Weird.
about the world,
Weird,
man.
weird.
I'm trying to learn about the world.
Remember when I told you your YouTube homepage could tell you so much about you? This nigga just has like cats doing backflips,
Hey,
I was-
fucking
remember
lions.
remember
like, eating
when I said I
things?
clear my history every now and then? You can't prove anything. All right, you can't prove anything.
Oh my fucking.
I was
God.
looking. Mine definitely does not tell.
Yo,
anything
go on
about
your
me.
YouTube, right? Go
I
to
was just.
youtube.com
I've been
and,
looking
like,
at that. It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't tell
lies.
videos I don't even want to fucking watch all the
I'm
time.
willing.
All the fucking time.
Lies. I'm
You gotta go
I'm-
to your homepage, not the trending page.
Oh, touche. Okay, maybe I'm there. Maybe I'm in the trending. I don't know.
All right, guys, we got a little off topic there, but good ass pod.
I think so. We got real
Well,
emotional.
that wasn't it. We gotta. I'm sorry. We gotta end in. What'd you learn
course.
this week?
Of course.
What'd you learn this week? Any valuable lessons? Anything you're learning or interested in at the moment? What are your interests? Either one of those. Let us know. Let them know.
I don't know. I feel like I'm just gonna end up like saying stuff people already said before. But for me, it's don't how do I put this? Like, don't give up on your dreams, even when you feel as though like what you're striving for, you're not able to reach it, or when you feel like you're lowest. Just know that like if you keep going on and being consistent, you'll finally get to what you want.
I'm gonna follow up on that and say, the route to being unhappy is comparison,
And I think comparison is really, really easy right now because you can go on your phone and look at everyone during their highs. They never show their lows. And it's really easy to look at that and compare yourself to that and be like, what am I doing wrong? But recognition that you're on your own path and that takes its own time, its own schedule, and will result in that same end goal is an important thing to do. So don't compare yourself to others.
I'm gonna go super non-inspirational and just say I fucking hate allergies and pollen. I've learned that this week. My allergies started kicking up this week, and yeah, take care of that, dude, because figure that shit out. Because
Wait, do you all have allergies?
I never had
I've been
allergies.
Sneezing a couple times, but I used to have it really bad. Not anymore.
I never had allergies, and then past few years, my eyes just decided to say fuck
USPS, you too?
Nope.
Nice. Welcome to the club.
Yeah, that's a lie. I have the worst allergies.
Oh, okay. So
I'm
the
through 5 boxes of puff tissues.
I'm the one who's not okay.
On the
right,
daily.
cool.
Ever?
Yeah.
Never had allergies?
Nope, not a pussy. So.
Oh, dude, I hope
It's
that
some
you just.
Vaseline
I
lips,
hope.
bro.
I hope that a fucking flower just fucking lands on your face at night, and the pollen just seeps deep into the fucking core.
You don't
of your
have to
eye.
wish.
I'll breathe it in.
You don't even have to wish, Mikey. I'm going to his house and personally doing
I'll
that.
breathe
Breaking
it in.
into his home and rubbing flour all over his face. I want that nigga to wake up and be like, "Achoo!" Sneeze once. You'll never live it down. I promise
Oh,
you.
God.
I'll breathe it in.
I
Nah,
cannot
I never
wait.
had allergies,
Oh
nothing.
man, that's
Nothing.
crazy. I cannot wait till you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll probably get it later in life. We're not
I'm
around,
blessed.
but
Whoa, nah, don't put that in the universe.
Nuh-uh.
That's what happened.
Nuh-uh.
No, I won't.
No, I won't.
Uh-huh.
Not me.
What about you, Flubber? What you gotta leave us with?
I learned something about myself while not under the influence this past week. But I kind of something I see myself in kind of relationships. I take the role of I guess when I was younger, people, because I was smaller or whatever, people kind of treated me in a childlike fashion, if that makes sense. They kind of thought less of me, and I've noticed that I've kind of taken that role automatically, and I kind of don't see sometimes the value I bring to people. I automatically don't necessarily feel like I could bring value to people, and so I've kind of opened my eyes to that. It isn't fixed, but it's a start to realize that I have that tendency of kind of playing that role where it's like a smaller role, and I think that's why when people call me buddy, it really hits a spot. So don't call me buddy, please. But yeah, I kind of have that tendency to fall into that role of just like this childlike, people not seeing me for more than what I can be. So I'm working on that.
It's good. It's good to know your value and know how much you're worth. That's good.
That's dope, bud. That's super
man.
dope.
Man,
Beautiful people, thank you for making it this far. If you made it this far, if you didn't, you won't get this message.
leave us a comment if you made it this far and tell us who would win in a fight, an orca or a jellyfish?
Jellyfishes,
Peace
not
out.
a singular jellyfish. Jellyfishes. We love you all. Thank you so much for listening. The Backpack Boys out this bitch. Peace.
Later, guys.
Peace.